Thanks for coming out tonight. Yep, seems like 320 years sometimes. So tonight we're just going to have some fun. I've got a couple of online games to challenge you. We're going to have some fun with those, and then I've got kind of a photo history of stuff that I've taken over the last couple of years here at Sandy Ridge. I'm going to dull these lights a little bit first. That better. I'm going to do the slideshow first, and then we'll get to the games. All right, Sandy Ridge 2020 and 2021. Strange days indeed, Mama. Most peculiar, Mama. Roll. So before BC, that's become a thing, you know. BC is before COVID. So before it all came down, this is in January of 2020. We had a record number of 7 cackling geese mixed in with the Canadas. It was January 15th, 2020, if I remember right. Finally started getting bluebirds coming to the feeders. They would check it out a lot of times, but I'd run out and get the mealworms out there, and then they would disappear. This went on for a couple of winters, but last year they decided, yeah, this is the place. So mealworms, for those that feed bluebirds with mealworms, it's not cheap, but we do get donation money for people for bird seed and other stuff. It's fun to watch in the wintertime. Nice blast of color. Sometimes you see birds fall asleep at the feeder, too. Morning dove is enjoying the sun there. Only 3 times from what I can remember have we had pine siskins at the feeders here at Sandy Ridge. One time it was a whole flock, and they more or less hung out in the bushes and got scared off. And then twice it's been a single bird. This was last year. The immature red-shouldered hawks are always popular here. I've not found the nest yet, but every fall we have at least one immature hanging around the marsh and or up here by the building, hunting for things to eat. And if you ever watched them, especially warm fall days, you'll see snakes are definitely one of their favorite things to eat, but they do readily take mice and other stuff. They even go after the birds at the bird feeder once in a while. Not very successful, but they do because they're immature. I like this shot because it shows the diagnostic kind of crescent going across the wingtip there. So you're not sure with an immature bird. If you see that, you know it's a red shoulder. And you really know they're immature if they're on the playground. This one definitely liked hanging out by the playground and the bridge and other places around the building. And Josh and I were trying to figure out, you know, what's the appeal? I mean, you know, there's grasses. 2020, the first thing I saw, it was a nice clear early morning, so I got a nice shot of the moon. And then it was like this the rest of the day. This is the second Saturday in May, so it's always the second Saturday in May. Yeah, there's no place to hide from the wind up there, so it's some days it's pretty cold. But other animals are also dealing with the cold. The swans are nesting right on that little island right by the observation mound where I do my big sit. So she had snow on her, but she was taking care of they were still eggs at that point. Another week or so after they hatched, and we had the Fab Five. So the first year, 2019, was Magnificent Seven, then the Fab Five was 2020. Other fun stuff around the feeders again. There's a red bellied woodpecker with orange all over his face. And double-decker Orioles, the orchard on top and the Baltimore on the bottom, in the rain. Close-up of the orchard. Orchards come to the feeders a lot. Wilson's Trio, so later that year we had some good mud flats, and the Wilson snipe were right close to the trail. Lots of good photo opportunities. Eagle drying out its wings. And again, right close to the building here, we've got some willow and some elderberry, and the Cecropia moth caterpillars were eating the elderberry. And you can see the size of that compared to my hand. It's a big caterpillar, which turns into a big moth. Really pretty markings on it, too. I got to do something about that light. I don't want anybody to have a seizure or anything. Nope, wrong one. There we go. Yeah. I'm still seeing spots in front of my eyes. Yeah, we find some cool things in the woods, too. So if you don't know, deer, the bucks, they grow antlers, a new set every year. So it starts to grow in the spring, and there's stuff called velvet on the outside, which is blood vessels that help to feed this bone material, and they grow pretty fast because by the end of summer, they're getting rid of the velvet because they're done growing, and then they're all hard and shiny and new. And then they use them to fight other bucks to get does during the course of the rut, which is still now. And then later, the following year, February, March, they get rid of their antlers. They fall off. So why don't we see these antlers all over the place? This is why, because the squirrels and the mice eat them. This is how they get calcium, and it's also how they keep their teeth ground down. So a lot of times I just find them when they're nubs, but to find one that's been worked on multiple times was pretty cool. And there might be a squatch in those woods. So one of the fun things that we did as a naturalist department that summer of 2020 was put squatches at different places around the parks. And they were supposed to be doing different action poses like fishing or kayaking or this or that. A lot of people were wondering that this one might have had a bottle of wine or a 40-ounce beer. But that is supposed to be binoculars. I moved him around a few times just to keep people guessing. All right. March 12th, 2021. Oh, that's right. So this guy showed up. So this is a Ross's goose. We had two different Ross's geese in the same year. This one, which was kind of clean and white, and this other one that showed up this fall that was more immature, dingy gray on the back. So we've had more Ross's geese here than snow geese over the years at Sandy Ridge. It's kind of strange. Happy Lurpaloof Day again, 2021. It snowed this year, so that was kind of different. You can see the flamingos with the snow on them. But because it was cold and snowy, we got another visitor this year, a penguin. So that was pretty cool. Get this. There's a mist coming through with the wood ducks on the logs. Thanks. Big Sit 2021. So we saw 2020 was pretty cold. Not so much this year. It's much better this year. I'm not all dressed up in my winter parka and all that other good stuff. And had this sign made. Well, I actually did that in 2020, but it kept blowing off. So people could come up and see the progress. I would go and make a tally every time I got a different species. And I got to look up. What did I get 78 this year? Something like that. I can't remember. But we got to see the swans again. So this year they had 8. Yep. There's 2 with 1 leg. That's right. Very good. One-legged swans. A lot of birds do rest on 1 leg. But it does look funny. There's the little guys out and about. So bittersweet. So background on sandhill cranes at Sandy Ridge. They started nesting here back in 2000, like shortly after we opened. And there's this pair, and every year female would sit on eggs, and she'd sit on them a month past when they should have hatched, and then she'd get up because they were duds. She had a male that was banded for the first few years, and then he never came back, and she got another suitor, and they were together for many years, and then one of them died over by one of the housing developments back here in Center Ridge, probably of old age. I'm guessing it was the female because she was older than the male, but we never got anything done on them. Necropsy, what they call it. So anyway, we had some newer ones moving in at the same time as the other ones were getting older, and so now we have a single bird that's probably the old male, another bird that's kind of crazy that people have a certain name for, but I don't give birds names. And then we have this new pair that came in the previous fall, and then they actually nested this year. I'm going all this way around to come to the story where we actually had a photo. Thank you, Sherry Stone King. She lives back on Center Ridge on the back part of our property bordering. And she was outside, and she got to see the parents with a baby. And that was so cool, and she sent it to me. So the next morning, I zip out there in my golf cart, and I run out there, and I see the 2 parents, and there's no baby. Unfortunately, it already got eaten that night. But at least we have photo evidence after 20-plus years that they can make more. So hopefully they'll be better parents next year. Hey, look, he's all grown up now. So that same immature that kept coming around and trying to get mice off of us, he had his grown-up feathers this summer, but he still likes to be on the playground. He's a kid at heart, that's right. A lot of times I'll hear the marsh wren, but I don't get to see the marsh wren. So this guy, I know I'm not the only one. Some other people got some photos of this cooperative marsh wren. It's in the area we call the rail area. It's at the corner out back past the observation mound. And speaking of really cool things in 2021, we had a record 3 eaglets fledge, and I never got a picture with 5 eagles in the tree before, but I did that day, so that was really cool. Mom and Dad and the 3 young. And playing teeter-totter with the kids. You can see that's post-bath by how wet and raggy the adult looks over there. This is not my photo. This is from Gary Corzan. He's a regular out here and a couple other parks. He loves taking photos. Lots of birds and other stuff before, but this year he really focused on dragonflies. And he sent me this one, and I had to look it up because I'd never heard of it before. I've heard of saddlebags. We've got different kinds of saddlebags here, but I've never heard of a striped saddlebag. It is a tropical dragonfly. And every few years, a big bunch of them come up from the Caribbean and go all the way up north into Ohio, Wisconsin, Minnesota, of all places. So this is the first Lorain County record, and it was right here at Sandy Ridge. Striped saddlebags. And it's hard to see, but so we have Carolina saddlebags here, which are red and they look pretty much like this. But there's a white stripe thing that goes right there. That's what the big difference is with people that are in the know about dragonflies. I know dragonflies, but I don't know that dragonfly. The little mink friend. This guy was over by the garage, and I just I don't know, I happened to have the camera in the club car that day. I heard something, and this little face poked out. American mink. And I always tell people, because I get calls from people, they complain about something eating their birds at the bird feeder. I'm like, if you're going to feed birds, you got to feed all the birds. So that's like a nice Cooper's hawk, and it's sitting literally on the shepherd's hook for the bird feeder, waiting for dinner. There are some different things we worked on during the last 2 years. We got our old original put in 2000. Security cameras were failing, so we had to get new security cameras so you get to catch things that you might not normally catch, like that fox right there. He was making his way around, going tracks everywhere. We built lots more bird houses. So we got the wood duck boxes are the big ones, and then the smaller ones are for wrens or chickadees, and these could be for tree swallows, wrens, bluebirds, whoever's. I checked everything at the end of the year. The way these things were, I bought these kits, and I need to modify them so they're easier to actually be able to check during nesting season, because you got to take like 8 screws out to get the thing apart. But anywho, after the fact, several of the wren boxes were used, and at least 2 of the medium-sized boxes were tree swallows, and there was a wren that used one of those, and then there's also a chickadee that used one of those. So we had some birds using. We haven't checked the wood duck boxes yet, but they're usually all used out here.
What about the holes?
Which ones?
Wood duck boxes.
So
They're all different sizes.
yeah, well, they're generally close enough to wood duck size, but we use a sawzall for those, because the 2 middle-ish are wood, and the other 3 are fiberglass. You got to make sure you wear your gloves with the fiberglass ones, because you get that on your skin, and it's very uncomfortable. Yeah, it's hard to cut that stuff. And we also redecked the bridge last year, too. That was fun. I think we only dropped 1 hammer in there the whole times. It wasn't too bad. Just treated pine. Backstory of this bridge, if you didn't know. So I was originally at French Creek Nature Center, and I came to Sandy Ridge Reservation to be the park manager. When I first started at French Creek back in 1990, this was the bridge that was over French Creek. They wanted, for safety concerns, they wanted to have one that a vehicle could drive over, so they put a bigger bridge over French Creek, and they stored this one for years, and then I just brought it with me to Sandy Ridge. It worked out good. We do have an Eagle Scout project out. It's too dark to see right now, but Colin, the young man, it took him about 1.5 years because of COVID and other stuff, but eventually he got the chimney swift tower put up, and we're happy. We haven't had any chimney swifts in it yet, but that immature red shoulder likes to perch on it, as do the red-winged blackbirds, and I even saw wood duck up there too. So it is being used, just not yet for chimney swifts. There's the sign that goes with it. All right, so swans, we had some drama a couple of years ago with the eagles and intruder coming in, and eventually the resident mother eagle died, and then the new one took over. And well, we had some drama with our swans this year. Usually it's just they all make it, and then they all get kicked out by the parents. So this year they had 8. So we had 8 disappeared kind of early on. 7, one day I was out back. It was later on. They were pretty good size. And I saw one floating with what appeared to be its head down, but it was still moving. So I knew a snapping turtle got that. So I went out and got it away from the snapping turtle, because otherwise people would keep telling me all day that there's a dead bird out there. So I went and put that out for the coyotes. Number 6 ended up having injured wing or angel wing. It's not quite clear if this was a nutritional deficiency or an injury that caused this flip of the wing. But in any case, the one couldn't fly. So we wanted to make sure that if we could, maybe we could get it somewhere. So we had people from the ODNR and Cleveland Zoo come out last year to try to catch one of our adults to put a satellite tracking collar on it so they could see where they went in the wintertime, which I don't think would be very far or very exciting. But anywho, I met all these other people, so I contacted them and Tim Chazinski from Lake Erie Nature and Science Center and Tiffany Mayo from Cleveland Metropark Zoo, Swan, I can't remember what the whole department is. Anyhow, she's like, yeah, there's somebody out in the Midwest that will raise the young swans until they're able to be put into a breeding program because there's still a lot of areas out there that they're trying to get trumpeter swans into. So I'm like, okay, we'll try to catch this bird. So Josh and I kept waiting because our swans like to sleep on the trail when they're taking their naps. I mean, you can walk right up to them. It's pretty silly. So they'll hiss at you, especially the adults, but not much else. So we just kind of went, don't bother us. We're just carrying these big nets. And Josh got him. So thank you to Buddy Mesker for taking this photo of Josh in his action pose. And then I got to bring Junior on the way back with me, and it's kind of cool when you're holding a swan that's nearly adult and it's making these they like sounded really depressed. I'm like, I'm sorry, but we're going to get you to a better place. So this place out in Iowa, the Willows Waterfowl Sanctuary, they drove out from Iowa and picked up the bird and took it back. And so now it is with other birds out there. And, so the lady that wanted to pick the bird up's like, well, the bird has to have a name. So at first, the vet, without DNA or anything yet, by the size, thought it was a male. So we were going to call the bird Tim because of me and Tim from Lake Erie Nature and Science Center. We're like, okay, Tim the Enchanter. That's a good one from, if you ever watched Monty Python and the Holy Grail, Tim the Enchanter. But then the DNA came back and it was a girl. So this bird is called Sandy. Very original. Very original. There's Sandy with a new best friend. So pretty cool. Did find something different than, I've seen this growing at other parks before, but I never saw it here. Indian pipe. It's a plant that has no chlorophyll, so it has to take its food from other things. In this case, it's got this association with mycorrhiza of fungi, and but it's a really cool plant. So there are different parasitic plants, as they call them, growing in the woods. They might look like fungi, but these are actually plants. We have the Indian pipe. I've seen beech drops here. Squaw root is a real common one here at Sandy Ridge. All right, just a few photos not at Sandy Ridge. We have all kinds of flowers in our yard. And one day I noticed the way the sun was hitting these morning glories. It looked like the sun was coming right through the tops there. And then I've got a little macro setting on my camera. It's just a point and shoot. But then I got this solitary bee with the pollen coming off. It was pretty sweet. That's my dog Skittles. Lake Superior is a favorite of ours, and if you've ever been to any of my talks before, I go nonstop about the UP, Upper Peninsula, Michigan. That's my favorite place. So we did get a trip up to Copper Harbor this year. If you ever want to go to Copper Harbor, it's go across the Mackinac Bridge and keep going about 7-8 hours, all the way to the tippy top of the UP. My brother started taking me there when I was 11, and it's my favorite place on earth. So much because I will even bring my lederhosen. There's a German restaurant right there at the, very near where you catch the the Island Queen over to Isle Royal, and I always bring my lederhosen, and the waitresses always go, "Oh, you're back." That's my daughter Maddie. She brought her dirndl dress this year too. On some different beaches. This is a Big Sand Bay. It's kind of between Copper Harbor and Eagle Harbor. It's a shot up on Mackinac Island. Usually we do the more touristy parts of Mackinac Island, but we went up to the top, and there's some really cool trails up there, and cemeteries and other neat stuff. And one of my other favorite places on earth is Mizpah Beach, which is in Sheffield Lake, and it's a beach association that we belong to. So it's Skittles chilling out on the beach. That's me with my best tree beard imitation off of that sycamore right there. And the Memorial Day blast of 2021 is kind of what I wanted to show you, just a couple of pictures. So it was like a cyclone bomb going off that Memorial Day weekend. It was just crazy storm. Stuff just got destroyed. But in just a few days later, we already had it cleaned up. So that was kind of cool. To the victor go the spoils. And then we burned everything. And that's always fun. So I know we're just about at Christmas time. I'm a big fan of winter, and so is my dog Skittles. So we like winter on Lake Erie, and this is one of my favorite shots from last year. The frozen tundra of Lake Erie. She got to be on KYC Doggone Weather for that one, so she was very proud of herself that day. All right, well that's it from my pictures. Let's play Jeopardy. Okay, so the rules are we're going to do two teams. We're going to do team 1 on my left and team 2 on my right. And team 1 on my left, if you think you know the answer, so we're going to go in order. So chair. Everybody gets a chance. Everybody gets a chance that way. So if you think you know the answer, you say tweet. Because we can't do handhelds because of COVID. So then on my right, this will be team 2, and you say honk. All right. So let's let team 1 pick where you want to go first. First chair.
That's you. That's you.
Me?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I was trying to think of that. Yeah, save the birds for 100.
Save the birds for 100. All right. Here we go. If you're hiking and come upon a bird's nest, this is something you shouldn't do.
Tweet.
Go ahead.
Pull it down.
Don't mess with it. All right. We'll give you 100 for that one. All right. Let's see. Team 1, next person, you have the board.
Big words for 200.
You say big words or bird words?
Bird words for 200.
Remember, team 1, you can honk in here, just like regular Jeopardy. Yep. It's another word for the mouth of a bird. Tweet.
Bill, beak.
We'll accept bill or beak.
2 bird words for 200.
Bird words for 200. Claws of a bird of prey are called this.
Tweet. Oh, it was a honk. I think I heard a honk.
Did I hear a honk? Honk. What? Talons. Talons is Correct. All right. Pick the category, and so you guys can.
Bye-bye birdie for 100.
Bye-bye birdie for 100. This word is what birds become when there aren't any more of them left. Tweet's got it. Extinct.
Oh, it's about to get, all right.
All right, now we're going free for Tweet, whoever answered that.
Let's see. Bye-bye birdie for 200.
I think I got her honk.
What is the bald eagle?
Answer is, what is the bald eagle? Very good. All right. You get to pick the category and price.
Well, bye-bye birdie for 300.
All right. Because I'd never seen humans, therefore I had no fear of them. This large, flightless... Sweet.
Dodo. What is a dodo?
Dodo is correct. Thank you for answering it with the what. I have to go Alex on you.
Let's see. Bye-bye birdie for 400.
Okay. And since we're jumping around, let's make the rule, if you already answered one, let somebody else try to answer one. Okay? Let's do that. Then we don't have the same person answer all the time. All right. This is one of the major causes of extinction in the world. Tweet. Boom. You are correct. Bird brains for 3? Okay. One of the two parts of a bird is made of the same materials as our fingernails and hair. Honk. Two parts of the bird. Tweet. Beak and feathers. Nobody gets the prize. Nobody gets it. Board is still on this side, I think. Yeah, board's still on the tweets, I think.
So,
You want to pick it?
Yeah, let's do save the birds for 300.
Save the birds for 3. Use of these chemicals has led to declines in population of many bird species. Honk.
Go inside.
Pesticides. All right, honk. Pick one.
Bird brain for 500.
Bird brain for 500. When it comes to innovation or finding clever ways to do things, this bird is considered the most intelligent. Honk. You got it. Look at the comeback of the century. Woo! All right.
Okay, potluck for 100.
Potluck for 100. Here we go. Remember, keep your voices down so I can hear the tweets and honks. Birdwatchers use these. Binoculars. There you go. Go ahead. Pick the next one.
Potluck for
200. Seasonal movement of birds from one place to another is called tweet. Migration. Nice. All right. Pick category, please. Ben Franklin, when he used this bird. Wow. That was a pretty difficult one there. I think I'm going to go with a tweet, though. Turkey. Very good. All right, somebody on the tweets.
bye-bye birdie for 500.
Ooh. Once this species made most of the southeastern United States its home, but it was considered extinct for decades. That's a tweet. Yes. Yeah, it probably really is extinct because They've never found any evidence since. So. Tweets. Fastest birds in the world? Honk. Peregrine falcon. Honkers. Somebody pick. 400. Domestic predators kill 100. Honk. See, it keeps you thinking. Am I a tweet or a honk? Like 400. All right. In order to avoid competition, this is the reason birds migrate.
The room goes silent.
Tweet,
Tweet.
for food.
We'll accept that. Nicely done. Nicely done.
Bird words 3.
And birds lose their feathers and grow new.
Tweet,
Honk. You are correct, sir. All right. Somebody from the honkers.
Potluck 500.
Potluck 500. Here we go. This is made up of food, water, shelter, and space. Honk. Doon, 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 doon. So, backstory. I used to, way back when I first started at French Creek, we did puppet shows, and there's this song called Habitats, and it's stuck in my brain to this day. Food, water, shelter, space. The habitat has these 4 things always. I mean, it's great. If I had a copy of that puppet show, I'd be showing you that right now. Did I add the score? Oh no, I didn't. Sorry, I forgot to hit the thing. There we go. All right. There we go. Now we got it. Okay, honk. I mean, somebody from honk. Bird words 500. This bird lives in a hole in the ground, which is how it got its name. I think I had a tweet first. Yes. What a contest. Somebody from the tweets. Save the birds for 500. There we go. This act is done. Tweet. All right, so I got Migratory Bird Treaty Act, and what did we have over on this side? Okay. Endangered Species Act. Honk. 400 bird words. The name of this type of nest made by a woodpecker is also called, there we go. Thank you. Cavity is correct. What a game. Neck and neck. Tweets, you got the board.
bird ray number 2, 200.
Largest egg in the world comes. Tweet. You are correct. Oh, this is a thrilling game. Birds often fly these invisible stripes. Honk. You are correct. Uh-oh. 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 Okay, here we go. Silence on the crowd, please. Smallest bird in the world? Sweet. We have a tie, Alex. Looks like we got to go to sudden death. Wow. Thrilling. I'll take it easy on you. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in order this time. Nobody's shouting out. So we'll start back at the beginning. So chair number 1 on the tweet side. Take your best guess.
I start with.
Yep.
Okay. Mute song.
Correct. There's 1 point for the tweets. On to the honks. That's you. Oh, do you want me to read them out?
No.
Okay. I did.
I'm thinking here.
Okay.
I can't remember which one is which now.
Take your best guess.
Trumpeter's one. No, it's a tiny.
Sorry.
Trumpeter's got separation.
Sorry, we had to go through first guess. All right, share number 2.
Green and teal.
2 points. All right. Next for the honks. We'll go with you.
Red dress.
Yes, you got it. All right. Can you handle that one? Can you handle that one? That's funny.
Which one's which?
Next on the honks.
You want to do too?
Boom. Read it to you. There we go. You, sir.
I think I'm going to use my lifeline. I'll do.
Best guess.
I'm sorry?
Best guess.
Yeah. I'll do the black scooter.
Sorry. Next question. That was a common answer. Here's a different look. Degree of difficulty. I was going to say I have one in the back of the room. You're going to go Scoter? So the eye is the thing you want to look in this one. It's a different angle. Yeah, it's a female. I got one in the back of the room. You, sir. What's that?
So that you can see it
You are correct. It is a wood duck.
You're saying they're having a hard time reading and seeing in the
Okay. I don't know if I can get any bigger.
in the right hand corner. You can, don't mess with it.
And wood duck was correct, by the way. You are correct, sir. Rolling right along now. 4-3. It's still anybody's game. I had one in my slideshow. Oh, yeah, I had the other one. Sorry. You are correct, sir. All right, 5-3. There was 38 of these sighted at the Ottawa National Wildlife Refuge, according to the listserv today. Yes. 38. You. There's even a clue on it. Boom, shakalaka. 6. All right. Yeah, it'd be nice if his tail was up in the air. Nice. That's when we don't get around here too much. I certainly did, putting it together. And as any good game show host knows, you got to have parting gifts. So on your way out tonight, there's chocolate and there's candy canes. Thanks for coming.